What do you think of the miracles?
Unlikely.
The resurrection?
Unlikely.
The virgin birth?
Very unlikely.
You got...
Hello everyone, welcome to Motor on Beep Beep. I'm here to find the final resting place of Derek Nimmos at St Peter and St Paul's churchyard in Eastern Mordaunt, and it's an absolutely gorgeous day. Wow, I've got my hat on so my hair don't curl. It's beautiful, it's quintessentially English like me. But look, I'm going to speed you so you can see the place. It's absolutely beautiful. That's the church. I've just come past the main bit. We've got the thatched roofs over there, and then you've got the church there. Lovely, beautiful. After serving in the army in Cyprus, it was the attraction of the stage that got him, and he took a role in a stage production as an actor, and his world changed then. His first role was at the Hippodrome Theatre in Bolton, and yeah, that's what started him in a completely different direction as an actor. But it was his portrayal as Reverend Mervyn Noote in All Gas and Gaiters that really projected him into a different stratosphere, and he became known as the clergyman type. And it broke boundaries, did the comedy series. It changed the way that people looked at the church. And he was very subtle with lots of nuances. It was clever humour. The next one I do really remember, it was Oh Brother. That's the one I think I kind of remember. And he always reminded me, I mean, I just thought religion. You did, but it was comedy that he was doing. Look at the old gravestones. Oh, they are old, aren't they? Eh? Yeah, superb view. And that was superseded by another series called Oh Father. So he completely got the niche as the clergyman on TV. He was good at it. He also appeared in a lot of other programmes and films, stuff like A Hard Day's Night with the Beatles, Casino Royale, James Bond, but he wasn't credited. He has got quite an extensive career as per usual, but we also remember him as well I do especially, as this religious figure. I think really the humour was a bit too sophisticated for a little boy. I didn't really get it. He was now synonymous with a British clergyman, and that's what everybody thought of him at the time, including me, who was only a little kid. How about you? How do you remember him? He was on Just a Minute on BBC Radio quite a lot, and he was good on that. But he thought he could go into the chat shows, and he had a programme called If It's Saturday It Must Be Nimmo. But unfortunately, it didn't quite work for him, and it was a very brief programme. I don't think that natural rapport, came to him, which it does with some, and others, the best has been actors. But surprisingly, he was very good at after-dinner speech, and he penned several books on the subject, and that's strange, but I think when it's written down, he could do it, and he was known for that. Well done. And he got a Benedictine after-speech dinner award in 1990. He was so good at it. In 1969, the Royal Television Society gave him a silver medal for his comic performances, so he was already getting accolades for his work now. He was a clever guy, all right. And he formed Intercontinental Entertainment, a touring production company that toured the globe. It went to 30 different countries, so he could do all his wonderful touring whilst working. What a lovely gig that must have been. So he had a good life, didn't he? If you're doing something you love and you're travelling, whoa, you've cracked it. He had lots of hobbies. He loved gardening, he loved walnut furniture, he loved paintings. He was a very diverse man who liked lots of different things, not just the acting. In 1955 he married Patricia Brown, and he had 3 children. But he wasn't without some naughtiness in his life, Unfortunately, he had an illegitimate affair with an actress just known as Anne, and in 1969 Justin Nimmo was born. But he was a good man in this way. He kept in his life. It was a big part of his life. But when he died, he left a lot of possessions to him, like ancient Greek and Roman artifacts, and I think it was a very special chess set and ivory things. It was a very, lots of possessions were given to the son, and so it should be really, because he was his son. It's unfortunate. I mean, he'd hidden that relationship from the public, but There we go, at least he was in his life. And Justin featured very heavily in his will after he died. He wasn't an absent father, he was very much connected to him and stayed in his life, which is a good thing. The only little bit of controversy was that his oldest son, Tim, they'd had a fallout for 18 months and he didn't get featured in the will. He very graciously said afterwards, well, never mind, you know. He didn't take it so hard. But it does seem, I mean, that happens sometimes. People change the will and then they don't want it to be that way, but they haven't changed it back, and I think that's what happened here.
One wonderful New Year's Eve, I was in my caravan in this car park, this time behind the Chiswick Empire. And in the pantomime with me, I was in a pantomime at the time, there were 26 German midgets. And mine was a very large caravan. They were all living in little midget-sized caravans round about. And so you get the picture. I was like the Lord of the Manor there, do you see? So I asked them all in on New Year's Eve, and I gave them ordinary-sized gin and tonics, and suddenly I had 26 totally paralytic German midgets in my caravan. And it was really quite extraordinary. And suddenly one of them, called Rudolph, who was about so big, got hold of this little lady's hand and said, "Come with me, and we will have pleasure together." And off they went into the night. See, I didn't know that midgets could do that, even in a small way, did you?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Derek Nimmos.
And I did Laura Stevens the other week, and she fell down the basement steps, and I'm afraid poor Derek did exactly the same. Would you believe it? Just when they're going to enjoy the life and the retirement. February the 24th, 1998, he'd been to a celebrity luncheon with his wife, and he went home and the external alarm went off. So he went out to see what was going on, and he fell down some stone steps, smacked his head on the ground, and never came round again. And while recovering in the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital, he contracted pneumonia and died. How sad. Just at that time in your life when you're going to kick back and relax. Thought it was sad with Laura, but here's another one. A few tragic deaths going on here, isn't there? I don't know. Derek Nimmos was born in Liverpool, Lancashire, the son of an insurance salesman. He grew up in Mosley Hill in an environment he described as the old merchant houses, comfy English suburbia. He followed his father into the insurance business, and after national service in Cyprus, became a salesman for a paint company. He began his stage career at the Hippodrome Theatre in Bolton, Lancashire. He married Patricia Brown in 1955 and they had 3 children, Timothy, Piers and Amanda. Derek fell down some stone steps into the cellar and suffered head injuries and was taken to the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital, where he remained in a coma until the end of December 1998. While still recovering in hospital, Nimmo contracted pneumonia and died on the 24th of February 1999. I knew it was near this enormous tree. It is one of the most beautiful spots I've been in. Let's spin it. Turn the camera around if I can do it. There's the church. Look at that beautiful double tree there. Lovely, isn't it? And here he is. And he's got the cross, so he should have, because of his representation of the church. And here it is. It's lovely. Yeah. It's moving a little bit. Hello, Derek. Your humour was very subtle and clever. You were well before your time, actually. A lot of people have learnt from you. So I'll read the stone. It says, Derek Robert Nimmo, most adorable and beloved husband, father and grandfather. Born the 19th of September 1930, died on the 24th of February 1999. Actor, wit, life enhancer. There it is. Very nice. Lovely spot, there's lots of space as well. A seat to sit down. Just got a lovely feel. You've got the thatched roofs around here. Well, thank you, Derek. It was a pleasure driving here today, and you did a great job with your intelligent humour. There's a man who did change humour in the, when I was a kid I just saw him as this religious figure. I didn't really get it, bit of a do-goody. But he was a good man. He was married a long time, and he projected good humour, and he changed the face of humour. I think if you take any subject and make it better than it was before, which is what he did, then you've done very well. Don't matter what it is, does it really? You know, you don't get overawed by things. If you've got a hobby, you want to try and be the best, don't you? I mean, I'm not saying I'm the best at all, but you know, I try and make it. I try and enjoy it and try and reflect the people as I really think they are. That's all you can do, isn't it? So if you're doing something, I think that's the best way to approach it. Not to be a robot and try and say what you think, and if other people agree, great. If they don't, still great. So if you enjoyed the film today, give me a thumbs up and a comment, because you know I do love those comments. And of course subscribe to the channel, because there'll be plenty more content. Take care everyone, enjoy the summer. I'll see you all soon. Bye from me, Alan at Motor on Beep Beep.